The Toyota GR Yaris entered the world by storm in a year when everything was going a bit wrong. Its 1.6 litre, 3-cylinder turbocharged engine produced around 260 brake horsepower. It was also four-wheel drive. You could adapt where you wanted the power to go. It was pretty bonkers. Everybody fell in love with it, and it's one of the very few cars that almost every single motoring journalist, including myself, absolutely adores. I just had to get one. But sadly, just like my Type 1 VW campervan, which you can check the video of in the top right corner, I couldn't afford one, which meant I had to resort to a Tamiya model. And this is what this video is about. I bought one, or rather my parents bought one as a Christmas present to me last Christmas, and it's built. I built it, well, it finished about a week ago. It took me about, say, just over a month, and that was because I spread it out big time, and also with home learning, it just meant that everything was slowed down slightly. And here it is. It's looking absolutely epic, and it drives epically too. So, in this video, I'm going to be racing it around, talking you through the build, and just talking everything Toyota GR Yaris, because my God, they are cool. I'm Daniel Achterhuis, and you are watching Daniel Drives. So let's show you around this little 1 to 10 scale GR Yaris. And it certainly doesn't have 1 to 10 of the power. I've got to make that clear. It is absolutely crazy, the power it delivers through the front wheels, which we'll get onto in a bit when we look at the chassis. It's very controversial and a lot of people get quite angry about it. But first of all, let's show you around the body, which looks tremendous. You may know that the normal GR Yaris, the full-size one, you can get in 4 colours. It's pearl white, normal white, black, and then the red. And most people tend to go for the pearl white because it does look gorgeous, I've got to say. Not many people for the black because it doesn't show off the black trim, which you can see all around the car really. But I am one of the very few people that would go for the red, just because it's a very bright and nice colour. I do like red cars, they look great. So let's show you around a bit closer. I've just actually realised I've got a red phone, so it goes with it very, very nicely. So the Toyota GR Yaris unmistakably looks really quite aggressive. Now, the only thing that the GR Yaris shares with the normal Yaris is the headlights, the rear lights, and the aerial on top. Everything else is completely unique. It's been made ground up to be a homologation special rally car for the road. That's Toyota's aim, and it does look really nice. So the normal Yaris had a bit of a round grille, and it was a bit timid and maybe a bit tame. But the GR Yaris is it's a bit gopping, isn't it? It looks really like a beast. It's amazing, really. Carbon fibre and everything. It does look really nice. Side profile's also very nice. The Yaris has gone from a 5-door to a 3-door for the GR version, which I do think is really nice. I tend to prefer 5-door cars, but for the GR Yaris, I would honestly go for a 3-door. Good, because it's the only option. But it does look really nice again. If we look at the rear end, there's the rear end. It's got a nice sporty rear diffuser, little rear lip spoiler, normal Yaris lights and stuff like that. It's the same story. Again, it does look really nice. The styling of this car is tremendous. Normally the GR Yaris would have a carbon roof, and it's actually wrapped in carbon as well, because I think it's forged carbon into the roof, but they've put nice carbon wrap on top. It's hard to explain, it just looks nicer. But this is gloss black because I'm not going to start wrapping my Tamiya model. Now I've got to give credits to my dad because he actually did the body for this car, because frankly I don't trust myself. I'll make a bit of a mess of it. He did the VW camper as well, and he's done a really excellent job. So well done to him. I did the chassis, which I'm going to show you now. So just like the last video, I've got to try and wrestle around with pins and put them in my pocket, and then I can show you the chassis. So the chassis of the GR Yaris comes standard as the M-05 Tamiya L chassis, so it's the long. So if you're going to build one of these, don't start building the medium M version like I did and then have to rebuild quite a lot of it. So let's put the body on the floor. This is the chassis. It's front wheel drive. Now there's a reason for this, and personally I would prefer it to be 4-wheel drive like the proper GR Yaris, but the Tamiya 4-wheel drive chassis costs almost £300, and this costs just over 100. So really it's a no-brainer. It's a lot cheaper, and front-wheel drive cars are fun anyway, especially Tamiya models, as long as you're not driving them indoors, because they tend to understeer into plant pots and stuff like that. But outside, you can't really fault them. They still skid around like a four-wheel drive / rear-wheel drive car. Obviously my camper van is rear-wheel drive, but surprisingly it does understeer quite a bit, more so than this, I think. So this is the chassis. The battery is placed different to my camper van, whereas the battery in the camper van is placed lengthways, and this is going along across the body, sorry, so it's different weight distribution. Motors at the front, obviously, because it's front wheel drive. I've got upgraded shocks, and they were originally red, but the red shocks that we bought, they're aftermarket. They're not official Tamiya because they're ridiculously expensive. They were Chinese copies, but still good. The red ones we got weren't as good as the ones on the camper van. So for now, because I'm using this more than the camper van, I've put the blue shocks from the VW onto this Toyota because, yeah, I do prefer the look of the red, especially with the body being red, but these just handle better. And we tested out on our rug, actually. It handles a lot better. So, it's got a Sanwa receiver. It's got the normal Tamiya brushless motor. I'm trying to sound all professional now, but I really don't have a clue. It's got an ACOM steering servo. Now, first of all, we got the AS11 steering servo, which is the old type, but that didn't fit, so we had to buy the AS12. So if you're going to buy a GR Yaris Tamiya model, make sure you get the AS12 steering servo, please, because otherwise it's just a faff. It is just a faff. So yeah, this chassis, it's very, very nice. It handles really well. It's front wheel drive, as I said, and I'm really, really impressed with it. It's got black wheels, as standard. I know a lot of people fit aftermarket Tamiya wheels, but I do think these look nice as standard. So yeah, I'm a big fan of this. Another thing I quite like about this model is the switch is placed underneath, so you don't have to poke your fingers into the body to try and find the on switch. It's very convenient. It's a nice touch, Tamiya. So on it goes. Oh, it's good. Tamiya's so exciting. So car's on the ground with a full battery, I hope. I charged it this morning, so hopefully it has actually gone full. Controller's got enough battery, different controller this time. This is the ACOM's Technic Plus A. So there we go, there's some facts for you if you like controllers. So, bit of a launch. Oh yes, struggling for traction there. Front wheel driveness kicking in. Oh, power slide. This is tremendous. This is one of the first times I've driven it outside. I did it the other day on my road, but then I completely left it because I've been trying to keep a bit of battery for this video. So there it is, front wheel drive, so it does understeer, and then if you lift off, you get some lift off oversteer, which is so entertaining. Oi, and crash. Oh no, will it get itself out? Oh, I don't know. No, it's stuck in the bush. I'll have to go and retrieve it. Ready for more action. This is so much fun. I feel like I'm 5 again. Whee! Oh, that's so cool. It kind of feels a bit four-wheel drive, actually. A bit of a playful four-wheel drive. Oh, that is so cool. Now, if somebody was to ask me, Daniel, what do you prefer driving? The VW campervan M-06L, so rear-wheel drive chassis, or your Toyota GR Yaris M-05L, which is front-wheel drive? I'd honestly probably say the M-05 Yaris, just because it's front-wheel drive, and it's probably not very predictable. It's a bit all over the place, which sort of adds to the fun of it. Now, if this was a dry road, it'd be able to get its power down a bit better. But because it's just a bit damp, and we had a bit of drizzle earlier, it's sliding around a bit, which is quite fun, to be honest. Yeah, this is a lot of fun. Now, I think we should do a cut here, where Daniel of the future is going to do a slideshow of some of the photographs I took during the build, and talk a bit about what it was actually like to build, running through some of the steps, because that's always interesting, I hope. So sit down and enjoy this little montage looking through some of the photographs of the actual build.
Okay, so as promised, I'm going to do what it was like to build. So this was Christmas Day, me getting the actual Tamiya model, laying all of the parts on the floor, because that's what you have to do, then laying out on a table. I was organised this time. So I got started pretty quick. I think it was Boxing Day, got on with doing motor casings and the actual base of the chassis, or the spine, or whatever you call it. So I really got on with it quite quick. As you can see from these photographs I took very helpfully. Progress moved on quite quickly. There's the chassis really coming together now. Put the wheels on quite early, and the red shocks, which are now on the table alone. now blue shocks. The chassis now done, so my dad then got underway with the body, and the body was done, paint and stickers looking absolutely fantastic. So here was the run through the build of the Tamiya GR Yaris.
So there we go, what it was like to build. It was a lot of fun, it really was. I've changed angle slightly now. So, with the cyclist in the background, the GR Yaris is still holding on for dear life. Probably going, Daniel, why are you ragging me this hard? See, if this is a real Yaris, I'd have to run it in for like 800 miles or whatever it is. That's the beauty with Tamiyas, there's no running in. This does give me a lot of ideas and a lot of thoughts. I do think an electrified GR Yaris would actually be a lot of fun. I think somebody has to do it one day. Because obviously, you know, the future in motorsport will be electric, whether you like it or not. And there has actually been some electric rally cars. So it'd be interesting to see an electric Toyota GR Yaris. It really would. Nice, Renault Clio RS in the background, smiling at my Yaris. Haha, that is superb. Was it RS 200 or something? Or is it a 182? No, it'd be a 182, that's what I'm thinking. Or a 172. This is a lot of fun. So I think the GR Yaris, compared to the standard Yaris, is about 10 times longer to build from the ground up, because they have to make the whole chassis and everything a lot stronger to cope with the high speeds. It's amazing. And whereas most homologation specials start off as a road car and then get turned into sort of a rally car for the road, the GR Yaris, I believe, starts off as a rally car and then Toyota make it road legal. That is so Japanese, and I absolutely love it for that. The Toyota GR Yaris has got a massive story. But sadly, I don't think the GR will ever actually race. I think it'll be known as the rally car that never races. Because of COVID-19 in 2020 and WRC season not taking place, I think they're going to go on straight away to the next Yaris and develop a new rally car, which is a massive shame, because I do think this GR Yaris would have done so well in the World Rally Championship. So it's a massive shame, but hopefully Toyota do a few things with it, rallying. So there we go. Another little fact is the Toyota GR Yaris was actually developed by Tommy Mäkinen, I believe, who's a very famous rally driver. There we go, got itself out. And he actually wanted the Yaris to sit lower and the roofline to be lower, but Toyota said it wouldn't work because it's got to be a bit practical. And that's one of the things people complain about, is headroom. So probably a good job Toyota ignored Tommy in that aspect. But there we go, if it's been developed by a proper rally driver, then what's not to like? So there we go. If you do like these Tamiya videos, then do let me know in the comments section below, because I can make more, and I'm actually contemplating whether to do a bit of a shootout, VW campervan versus Toyota GR Yaris. So if you would like to see that, let me know in the comments or on social media at DanielCars05. This is a lot of fun. I think once I've stopped filming this video, I'm just going to carry on racing it around. It's ludicrous. So there we go, a run through my brand new Toyota GR Yaris. I just wish it was 10 times bigger and had a 3-pot engine that has 260 horsepower, because that would be a lot of fun. And Toyota, if you're watching, hit me up. I'd like to do a review of your car. So there we go, my GR Yaris Tamiya M-05L. It's absolutely bonkers, really, really bonkers. Social media clearly loved it. I mean, on Twitter it got, I think, 100 likes or something. It's quite amazing. And after this video now, it's absolutely caked in mud, so I hope that's been worth it. And if you want more Tamiya content, do let me know in the comments again, or social media at DanielCars05, and drop a follow while you're there, because I'd really appreciate it. So I think that's it. Thank you ever so much for watching this episode of Daniel Drives. There'll be more to come, Tamiya content or not, a lot more brochure content as well, if that's what you like. And do stay safe, and I will see you for the next video. Farewell. Look at that. Lovely old Alfa Romeo. Nice owner too. Quite smoky. Scuttle a wheel spin. That is lovely. That's what I love about filming these YouTube videos, is you see all sorts.
If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe. It does help a massive amount. Thank you for watching, and I will see you for the next exciting video.